Okay, let's see. There's a whiteboard function, guys?
I think it's under screen, the screen option. Well,
And then share my screen using,
Yeah, but I'm not sharing mine. That's what I'm saying. It's Gurpreet's the one that set up the session.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can share the controls and then you just launch, if there isn't the whiteboard function.
But then I'm there. You're using the common
Yep.
go to meeting, right?
So you can just use Word or something.
Yeah, I'm also set up as an organizer as well because I've got the shared function. So,
If you're thinking of, if we can use Word document as well.
Exactly.
And as we go, that's fine as well.
this feature is not available on Mac.
Max. All right, guys. So let's see. Okay, let's start with security, guys. And we're gonna go for roles. So let's start listing. Who do you guys think are the roles most associated with the security industry when it comes to scheduling?
Depends on the size of the company. Smaller ones are always the owners or managers or something.
Okay. What do you guys think the size of? That brings up a good point. What do you guys think the size of? What would you guys consider is a small organization for security, and how would you guys break it up?
Less than 100.
So let's say, okay, so let's do a few of them. So let's do the first one is less than 100. Okay, and what's the next one?
So like 100 to 500?
100 to 500. Okay.
And then 500.
500 plus.
500 plus.
Rarely do we get that 500 plus.
Mm.
Those are the
Okay.
ones that
So then, okay, that makes sense.
Just down marketer.
I'm trying to do what I can.
Although we've got a couple of those right now that
Yeah, we do.
either closed or in the works, so.
Okay. So when we go for the less than 100, let's talk about. I think Suk, you're already bringing it up.
Yeah.
Owner,
Owners, general managers, that's
General.
usually
managers.
the person that inquires or fills out the lead form.
Sometimes the controller. Like
Controller?
finance.
Director of Ops.
Director of Ops.
HR.
Director of HR too.
Do you guys find that for smaller companies?
Yeah.
Really?
When you get to close to like 70, 80.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank. So yeah, I was curious about that too with HR. Traditionally, in most roles I've been into, I feel like HR doesn't move things as much as they can move deals that much. But I'd like to talk about that more, the HR part. You guys have noticed your deals like starting with HR, or they've just been involved in the sales cycle?
Sometimes HR does the scheduling for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Sometimes
security.
they have a coordinator that they hire, or someone who does. Well, did you guys notice that? What coordinator? Well,
Yeah, sometimes we're.
it's actually not security, not in security. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, the security is larger than other people will help, like they will have scheduling as a specialty almost.
Yeah.
Or someone will work with the HR person to do that role. But the HR people, they have control over the employee records.
Yeah.
And they're also concerned with payroll often.
Yeah.
Especially at the smaller companies where they don't have a specialized payroll
Yeah.
person. So that person kind of could wear, like the others indicated there, multiple hats.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure at the larger end of that 0 to 1 to 100 scale.
Okay. So let's go through it. So I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 roles here. The owner, I guess he'd be the buyer, and is he the user typically?
Can
What
be.
would you guys say?
Can be.
Can be.
Yeah, especially at this.
Could be buyer or user. General manager,
Same.
same thing. Buyer/user. Controller,
Usually just buyer.
it's usually just a buyer. Okay. Director of Ops, primarily the buyer, I'm guessing, right?
Buyer user.
Buyer user as well. And HR, same.
influencer, I would say. I mean, they're not really
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, an influencer or a champion.
And I'll also put like site supervisor in there too. They might
more
just
user,
be user only, yeah.
Power user?
It really depends upon the size. You
Yeah.
got quite a broad range there. I mean, even 50 to 100,
Yeah.
right? 50-man shop, the owner's gonna do it all,
Yeah.
right? You get up into the larger end, then he's gonna have more people
Yeah.
taking on more roles.
So let's do 100 to 500 now. From everything above, do you think everything will apply roughly the same, or do you think there are going to be changes? What do you guys think?
At this point, owners are usually just buyers.
Okay.
Or approvers, yeah.
Or approvers, yeah, buyers.
CFO?
CFO.
Probably the buyer.
Well, CFO and controller.
Here, we'll put 2 roles there, within finance.
Well, once again, as you get up into the larger organizations, because you'll have a CFO where it's down at the bottom and you might just have a controller,
And that's it, yeah.
right? CFO is more strategic, controller is more bean counter.
Yeah. Who are the power users? What are their roles? What are the users that be using Scalix the most?
Sure, at that point, it's a dedicated scheduler of 1 to 500.
Is the term usually just scheduler? Yeah.
I've seen director of scheduler sometimes.
So schedulers of
Director
sort.
of ops.
Sometimes they'll have, well, definitely the 100 to 500s would have dispatchers as well.
Yeah. Good
They're
point.
less involved in doing the schedule itself, but are responsible with respect to changes and communications and that sort of thing.
Especially sort of like site supervisor.
Yeah.
Who else? And I want you guys to think of it, not just think of it as like the owner, the CFO, directors, they're all going to have to be involved in the procurement or the approval process. But for our targeting needs, the reason why I want to bring up all these roles and these sizes of businesses, I want to know where are we going to start in these companies? Who are the people that you're going to go to first that are going to feel the pains, that they're not using a tool like Scalix, and they're going to be feeling pain? The points of entry into these accounts. Be mindful of that. So that's why I keep saying the users. Who are the guys that are sitting there still manually entering things? The guys that don't have a schedule to track where the security guards are.
Payroll people.
Payroll, okay?
Director of IT. In my experience, at least.
For security.
Yeah. For
Here's a
security.
little, yeah, no
Or
problem.
for like a mid-market enterprise.
It's the bottom right. What's that? Thank you.
Better. I can do bigger if you want to, man.
That's good.
That's good.
Is Gurpreet still with us?
Capri?
Yeah, I'm here.
Capri, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. You can see everything?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can see everything.
So payroll. Let's go back to that for 1 second. So that would be the user.
That would
Maybe user.
not really.
No,
Yeah,
Frank's
they're
going to be
like
the
an
deciding factor, and he's
influencer.
shaking his head no.
Payroll's not a user. Payroll's consuming the data.
Consumer.
Yeah.
They're not using the product.
Yeah.
They're consuming the data that we produce.
So let's think users more.
But payroll can't feel the pain though.
Yeah.
It's true. They can't. Like I've had quite a few security leads that started with payroll.
Okay.
It's actually the Atlas security started with a controller payroll person.
We'll put it on there. We'll have it on there for reference, okay?
Yeah, their use comes in sporadically. They'll do it bi-weekly or monthly. They'll have that interface, and if crap is coming out of this system, then they're going to feel it when making changes in payroll, or they're going to have excessive overtime, and
Right.
they will get really, they can have some real problems.
Who else? Other roles you guys can think of top of mind?
Well, the guard themselves, in a way, will be using the employee portal. I don't know if they would be considered a real user, but sometimes they do feel the pain because, the changes aren't communicated right to them or stuff like that.
They'll feel the pain, but I'm too worried with a guard.
Yeah,
They may be
exactly.
too low on the food chain that
They don't have
your
any influence.
deal's they're not going to have no influence. They're not going to motivate any deals to move forward.
And we're not going to on LinkedIn. What security?
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a big
That
turnover.
Slick brings up a good point.
Yeah.
Like like the next part after we list out all these roles is we need to make sure like, are these people accessible on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Almost everybody is, but like you said, guards, they're probably not going to be on there. So we have to be mindful of that as well. But any other roles that you guys think, or do you feel comfortable with these roles for
A
100?
manager for larger companies, they have like regional managers, right?
That's exactly it. That's a great one. Regional manager. And would he be more of an influencer or user? Both.
Both, because you'd be scheduling, overseeing, especially remote employees.
Yeah.
Doing all that.
And the good things that brought up with a manager like that is he's probably gonna have oversight on a schedule and dispatcher. So he'd be probably if the power user's having a lot of pain, they're probably gonna report that to the regional manager, and he's gonna be aware of that. Anything else?
Yeah, I would also go to the managers themselves, like the account managers. I just thinking of a recent account that's about 350 plus, and they've got managers that will look after maybe 100. So they'll have 4 managers, about 100 employees each. They've been brought in to look at presentations to give feedback, and they're always saying, got to have it very dead simple. They're going to go into the system and they're going to make changes to the schedule. If an employee has a problem, it's going to be usually the supervisor or the account manager that hears it first, often cases. So especially at this larger level, you're going to run into that.
Okay. And is that just called an account manager?
The account manager is the specific title that this customer is using, but it could be supervisor, would be the same thing. I would, yes, at other accounts. That size.
Well, sir. Okay. What do you guys think? You guys feel pretty confident in all those? You guys feel like, from what I hear, you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have 8 roles. I think that's a good amount of roles to using as our entry points, but as long as we all have a consensus is, we feel strong on it, good. Okay, let's go to the last one now. Let's do 500 plus. And guys, it is okay to there are going to be some crossover. So some of the roles that you guys see up top, like CFO, they're obviously going to be the same in 500 plus. So I'm going to do a quick copy paste because I feel like 500 plus is going to have a lot of the similar ones. There could be some different variations. Owner, would it be CEO now or still owner?
President,
CEO.
President, CEO, owner. You get to be that size.
CFO controller, I feel like schedules will be the same, dispatchers as well, payroll, regional manager. Anything else different in a 500 plus company?
Schedule might be scheduling manager or director of scheduling or something.
Director of scheduling.
Some variation of that.
You got the board of directors as well to consider.
Director of operations.
Would there be a CEO in that side of the company?
Pardon me?
Would there be a
Possibly.
CEO?
Possibly.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Director of operations, chief operating officer, same thing.
Okay. Anything else, guys, outside of that? What do you guys think? No? Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's roll with this to start. We're going to do this as well for hospitality, but let's kind of roll through security. So we've got a bunch of our roles here. We kind of broken it down to what you guys have told me you guys think are the best breakdowns of how to classify different sizes of businesses. And based on what you guys are saying, I think it is going to apply. We're talking to Frank for this for weeks, so it's good that what you guys are saying is the same thing that they've been telling me. So there's cohesiveness there. But what I want to talk about now is what we want to focus on now is out of all the rules here for the users, what we want to talk about is the pain points of the users. What do you guys think generally are the pain points? Are all the pain points going to be felt the same depending on the size of business, or are there going to be differences because of different size businesses?
There are a lot of overlaps for sure. I would say, a lot of overlaps perform the scheduling side for sure.
Yeah.
But as you get bigger, they might have more requirements with, such as managing more locations or managing branches, permission settings, like more nuances.
Yeah.
At that point.
So what do you, if you guys had to list off, let's put them all together. We'll just bulk all the companies together, see what the top ones are that hit all the sides of the business. What do you guys think the top 5 or top 10 pain points are? And you guys can just list them out as you guys see it.
Gathering, availability, distributing schedules, communication.
Yeah, that'd be number.
Okay, let's see.
I also think that when you get to 100 plus, you
Communication,
usually have a
building.
system in place, so that things like double booking is not. It's already not an issue for them.
You say distribution as well, sir? You say distribution?
Gathering, availability.
Yeah, gathering availability.
Figure out when all these like casual workers are going to be, because no one's 40 hours a week on security. There are very few people in SCR.
Yeah.
There's usually just people that are hopping around, shifts
Yeah.
here and there, different companies.
Okay. What else?
Avoidable overtime. And less at the smaller level because they can sort of figure out. They've got 10, 50 employees, they know where that's happening sometimes.
Really? I thought it'd be different because the bigger companies are a bit more sophisticated and better people. It's not like that.
You've got companies, 50 or more, and they're still.
Or you got a lot to
learn. And making mistakes.
Really?
And
Bigger
Yeah,
companies
things
just
are
have
going
more
out of control.
employees with grade 5 educations.
yes.
No, I thought like a COO would be more sophisticated and
No, they are, but the employees aren't. The employees, they're the same block of employees, whether you're a 50-man company or a 1,000-man company, you got the same employees.
So let's take a step back, because I think there's even more pain points that we can probably discover as a group, and we're going to need to, because the next portion that we're going to do after this is going to go right into we're going to map out all the value points and all the pain points and how it relates to how Slayx can fix those gaps in their business, right? But we got to know this stuff before we get into that. So for the pain points, a person that isn't using Slayx, so you guys come to a customer, a typical customer, if they're not using Slayx or any software in place, what are they doing right now? Let's talk about that process.
They're wasting
Manual,
time.
pen,
They're using Excel.
Excel.
So,
So, okay, so all of this is manual
processes.
manual processes, right?
Time consuming.
That's time consuming, yeah.
Error prone.
Yeah, that's
they're using stuff like text messages, phone calls, emails, social media to communicate,
Yeah.
which is really hard because it's distributed through all these places to streamline it.
Disjointed
let's see,
communications.
poor and disjointed communication. Okay.
Like
Keep going.
no real-time updates in a way.
So any changes to the schedule, how are they communicating right now?
Text,
call?
Phone
Text,
call.
phone
call. They're
So
reactive rather than proactive. They're finding out information out after the fact.
wow, now the pain points are just pouring out of you guys now. Can't keep it up. So no real time updates. What was that one after you guys said? You guys said a really good after. Sorry.
Reactive versus proactive management.
Reactive.
And due to a shitty working experience, I'm guessing they have a lot of high turnover as well. Can't keep guards.
Yeah.
Companies.
Good.
Really good points.
Now those are the kind of things that when we start measuring the C-level people, that's the kind of things that are gonna
Yeah.
be big pain points to them, right? Like churn or retention, high turnover. What else? You're doing really good now.
People not showing up to work.
Coverage.
Oh yeah.
Miss
Attendance, gathering attendance.
They're losing clients because if they don't show up to work, the client gets pissed off, and that's a liability issue as well. If you're managing an event, wherever something goes wrong, it goes in the clients.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yeah. One of the biggest terms, schedule compliance, right? How are we staying compliant with the schedule we built? What else?
Yeah, you mentioned it. Pissed off employees.
Pissed
No,
off.
pissed off customers. Pissed off customers.
So that's losing clients.
That's losing clients, yeah. Anything else you guys think with what they're doing today, that when Slayx comes in, will we fix? You guys got a lot of them. It's gonna be all of them, but I just wanna make sure, anything else you guys can think of?
cost control.
Big one. If I'm a CF4 controller, I wanna know how this is gonna save me money or make me money. Cost control. And then give me an example. How it gives you cost
Like-
control?
Booking too many people on a shift or double booking people,
So
overtime costs.
another one you could say is it's better utilization of resources or crew
Yeah.
utilization, right?
They're not using good data either, because they don't have the information. They have to go pen and paper, and sometimes losing out, so they can't properly calculate profitability per client.
Yeah, for data.
What about, I don't know if this is relevant or not, you guys tell me, when safety and armed guard or not, they have to go through and see if they're up to date on their regulations and licensing.
Oh yeah, finding qualified
Yeah.
staff.
Qualified based on credentials.
So it's more availability based on qualifications.
What else?
The disjointed employee records.
Explain that.
They typically don't have a formal HR system at the smaller level,
Yeah.
especially. And even at the larger level, they may have files, physical files, where they're tracking all of these things. They don't have it all in one location. So they have to go hunting around. It's very inefficient for them to go in. They're wasting time and money, and often in the end not getting the right information.
Okay. So say, how would you classify that? Disjointed or
Disjointed employee records. That's the cause, I guess. What's the symptom or the pain? Waste of time again there. So,
Okay.
do we have that sort of?
waste time? Let's
Waste time and money, because money's time.
there you go. Time equals money, guys. We got a really good list there. Anything else you guys want to add to this? What do you think? Or are you guys feel comfortable with it? There's no right or wrong.
You've got schedule compliance, and when we talk about compliance, we're talking about union regulations
Yeah.
and
It's more regulatory compliance. than
Yeah.
So regulatory compliance.
state and federal compliance. So if they do something wrong with scheduling, there are huge fines
Yeah.
there as well as
Particularly in the
fees.
US.
Especially in California.
Interesting.
What about with government contracts on the bigger companies that have, like, when you're securing airports or government buildings, is there anything different about that? They might have different pain points. Those are high value ones, and bigger, tend to be bigger, right?
Yeah, they don't know which clients are profitable or not because they don't see the billing and payroll comparison. You know, they have all this business going on, but maybe can't say really who's making money. They could be losing money from a client and not realizing.
I'm trying to think, how do you say it? How do you
It was
sum
like
that
the
up?
poor data.
Client profitability.
Yeah, kind of cost control for data. It's
Yeah.
kind of a mixture of both, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's-
When you guys come across companies that are like government regulated, all right, so if I'm federal bank, whatever, I hired so-and-so company to be armed guards, do they have any requirements that you need a system for scheduling or time attendance?
Yeah, it's the same as like qualification.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not too
Like
different.
if you're armed or,
But do they require that you have to have a system in place?
Not a system, but you have to have that information. You have to schedule them certain ways and make it equitable, those sorts of things. So you can be doing it by paper and pencil, but if you're, unless there are certain areas that require electronic records, but as long as you're following the procedures, the advantage of having the computerized system is that if you're called to task for that, you can just produce the.
So you
say
won't lose
you're
out on
compliant.
contracts if you don't have the system. You won't lose on government contracts.
Well, you could lose government contracts or even high-profile accounts if you don't have the technology behind you. I know one company, it's a small company that's growing in guards, and they want to take our information, present it to customers saying, look, we've got a high-tech solution, therefore we're at the leading edge and you can trust us.
So a lot of the companies will use that as a differentiator. You'll see right on their websites, they talk about the use of technology.
So it's legitimacy. Then.
Yep.
So it legitimizes that you're a professional business.
Legitimate, let's say.
there's one more also knowing in real time, like on a daily basis, the control center, knowing who showed up to work, who didn't in a real time basis.
Real-time visibility,
Yeah,
Real-time data.
Advisory. Like,
Real-time data.
because we got no real-time updates. I
Yeah.
think it's the same.
So
Same.
it kind of falls under that.
Well, another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is it's a real safety issue. If someone is at a remote site and you don't know that he hasn't checked in, or he's just checked in, but he's going to be there for 8 hours, midnight alone, then there could be real safety issues if something happens to that employee.
Yeah, safety. I mean, in every company that me and Theo have ever trained or worked with, anything having to do with corporate companies when it comes to safety is always the top of the list for any C-level person. When you throw in safety of employees, ding ding, that's one of the influencing factors every time, right? So it's good that you brought that up. And I didn't know how it applied, but now that you said it, that makes complete sense, right? I think we got a really good list here. I think enough that we can get into the next part with this. We're going to do it with hospitality after. But the reason why I wanted to make you guys pull up all this data and start thinking out loud is I don't like running training sessions where it's vocalized all one way. We all got to talk about this, right? And I need to get you guys thinking about this because the next exercise that we're going to do on the screen is we're going to actually start mapping this out about how this correlates to what will this result in the business, how can Select fix that gap, and what benefit will that drive, okay? So now you guys all think about the pain points. Now we're going to map this out on an actual map, okay? So let's keep this here. And I gave you guys the example from last week, correct?
PowerPoint.
Or a couple days ago? Yeah. Did you guys get it? And did you guys have time to skim through it? So you guys kind of know what direction we're going into today?
Mhm.
Okay. So, security. Make sure you guys can see. Okay. So we have some pre-built issues here. We're going to make some more because we have a big list of pain points. But we're going to start off with these, as I know Preet and Frank helped to start these for us. And what we want to do is we're going to get you guys to take 4 of your other main pain points of that list we just generated. This will be part of the homework. And you're going to do exact same as we did here, which we're going to do together, but for 4 more pain points. But we're going to do this in class together to figure it out together, okay? Sound good? So let's start off with the first one. The issue is too much time spent scheduling guards. What does that result in? It takes time away from more productive activities and running the business. How does Salex fix that gap for a user or customer?
Saves time. Makes it a lot.
How? Saves time because
I mean, like technically, like what in the system does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our Visual Scheduler or Schedule Express has automated features like autofill by rotation, although that's more hospitality, so we'll just say autofill. Availability.
autofill. Is it autofill schedule? It schedules it auto. Like,
It's called autofill.
Okay.
Rules-based qualifications, based rules.
Schedule based on rules.
And templates.
Schedules based on rules.
Templates.
Availability.
And consolidating availability.
Okay. What else?
And templates.
What kind of templates? Pretend like, and when you guys explain them how to fix it, I want you guys to explain it to me in a way like, say I'm not technical whatsoever. I don't know what visual schedulers or autofill. If you had to tell your buyer, hey, do you know why I can save you time? It's because I give you all your data in one screen, so you have availability to see everyone that's working. That's how Slex fixes the gap. If you say autofill, and a person doesn't know how Slex's tool set works, what the hell is autofill? So how do you guys say it in a way where you can describe to them how Slex fills that gap? Does that make sense, guys?
Explain like 5.
Scheduling templates to cut and paste to make it easy to.
So with the scheduling, so essentially templates give you cut and paste functionality. So how?
Yeah. Well, in a way, yeah.
Or automate scheduling by consolidating card availability.
So let's go one at a time. So consolidating, you said, is consolidated availability is by, what was it?
I was saying automating scheduling by consolidating card availability.
Automating. Okay. And Victor, go back to the one you were saying before. I think you're.
Yeah, using scheduling templates to be able to easily cut and paste. Yeah.
Cut that paste.
Posting shifts easily, so self-scheduling.
So self-scheduling.
So collaborative scheduling. You put, instead of you picking out who should work, trying to figure out who's available, post it up to the system. They'll get notification if they want the shift, they'll take it.
Yeah, we call it self-scheduling.
Nice. So self-scheduling. Collaboration. What else? Or is that it?
No, I mean, we could probably add a whole pile of stuff, almost every feature. In Visual Scheduler, the first thing, all the other stuff there are just components of Visual Scheduler.
Yeah.
And practically every feature in there, like build rotation, which we didn't put up there, is a feature that is a time saver. We could go and put in easily 10 pages describing how we make scheduling easy and fast.
I think as long as we can have at least 2 good word descriptions, or like you guys did, 5 points, that's enough data for us when we start doing our messaging. So I think you guys done good so far, but I just want to know if you guys think that there's something that like, hey man, that benefit is going to drive more value to a customer opposed to one of the other ones, then I want you to say it. But if this is all pretty much under that same house, then I feel comfortable. You guys do. Well,
so those I see, sorry you guys, those I see as advantages if you are on the scheduling side of things. Do we want to talk about advantages that are outside of scheduling that we provide, like notifications if employees are in the wrong place or not showing up, finding a replacement if someone calls in sick or quits?
in regards to, I mean, I think all those things are very important for saving time. But with getting a notification, how would you do it otherwise? You'd have to call them, I guess?
Well, no, the other way would be you would wait for the customer to tell you that someone hasn't shown up, and this is proactive where you're automatically notified that someone has not shown up.
That's the next point down. We're talking right now about just time spent scheduling guards.
Oh, I see. Got it.
So if you look at the next point down about not showing up for duty, then we're going to have another set of.
Oh, got it. Yeah, okay.
So to finish off this line, guys, let's go to the benefits now.
In terms of an approach here, I like this. It makes sense. If I were doing this, I would probably put the, we've got the issue and the result, and then I would put our SLAGs in the benefit column, and then
Switch the order, is what you're saying, is the column
switch the
shorter.
order. I mean, this is perfectly fine. It's just a little more logic, I think, in terms
Yeah.
of the approach. But
Fair enough. No,
for every feature that we list here, there could be
Just
numerous
relabel the
benefits.
columns.
for sure, yeah.
I guess the trick is to explain the main ones, the key ones.
Exactly. What we want to do is find the top 2 or 3 for each, because when you talk to a customer and you got their time now, they're on the phone with you or they're in an email conversation, you don't have time to tell them 20 things, nor are they going to listen to all 20 things. You got to figure out what are the top 2 or 3 things that this customer is going to say, boom, ding, ding, that's exactly how I feel, that resonates with me. So that's why we always going to be conscious of what are the ones that are going to yield you guys the best return result all the time. And it's ever changing. Like I told Frank from day one, the thesis that we work through, we're going to work with you guys for 6 months. Things are going to change. You guys are going to do your first couple campaigns and say, Jordan, everything that we did regarding autofill, no one responds back. And then Dak's going to come back and say, now we've been talking about visibility and consolidating all the availability. Everyone replies back. We're going to be like, okay, guys, everyone needs to know that that's one of our top things when it comes to the pain point of spending too much time. Just let you guys know, this is always going to be changing. So FYI, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So with the benefit now, usually the reason why we leave the SLAGs at the end here is when we do our messaging, when we start building it out, which I don't want to take you guys down that path right now for next class, But usually the Solex part is the part that we leave out on every single message, right? So you tell them, you feeling this pain? My foot hurts. It's killing me. Okay. Do you know if your foot keeps hurting, and I'm using physical examples easier, if your foot keeps hurting, you're going to be unable to walk. You know what? I have something that can make you run faster. You're not going to experience any pain in your joints anymore, and you're going to be able to get up every day to go to work. How do I do it? How do I get that benefit? Call me. Let's jump on a call and call me. So the reason why I have Solex in the end here is the customer is never going to know that. We want to be able to lead the customer through issue and result and benefit, and that's going to be strong enough. The customer's going to be like, I want that benefit, or I'm feeling that pain. Where's the juice? How do I get
It
that?
creates a little bit of urgency because if you give them everything, they're like, you know what, I'm going to do this in a day, and then it's the next day, and then the next day. But if it's some sort of urgency, how do you do it? Then they'll actually pick up the phone and call.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, in the world that we are today, guys, too, and the reason why for a lot of the messaging me and Theo send out, we don't want you guys to give too many of the features of what Solex does is, the world we're in today, we consume data and everything so fast. I bet you everyone in this room, before we make any purchase, we're already searching online. We know everything in and out of what we're going to do. So when you give somebody all the information, they'll usually say, okay, I got it all.
No reason
Cool,
to
if I need
call
it, I know it now, I'll call you later. But if you say there's a pain, but we're leaving something out, you know, you're kind of courting the girl. You know, come on. You know what I mean? You want to lead them on a bit, right? And that's what we're trying to do here. Cool? So what is the benefit, guys? So if they have the visual scheduler, now they're able to consolidate availability. They have templates, so it's easier for them to build it now. What's the benefit?
Spend time doing what matters, grow your business.
So we'll just sum it up. So yeah, now they have, the first thing is, well, more time. Now you have more time. What are you gonna do with more time? What's the benefit now for a scheduler? For someone using the schedule, what would they do with more time now?
They can focus in other areas, focus on more important tasks.
It depends on the size of the company. So if CEO's scheduling, stop wasting your time and grow the business, get more clients. If it's a scheduler,
Yeah.
I don't know. They would
I'm doing
more
Good
scheduling.
job.
More time ensuring
more important
you got the right cut.
or
Yeah.
business
You want to go to
critical
higher
tasks. What are the benefits, Frank? Anything? Always like to ask Frank questions since he already did this entire thing for you guys before, so he's already filled this all out. So he's well aware. But anything you can think of top of your head, do you think you want to say for the benefits? Besides the easy more time one, or should not give them any answers? Should not give them any answers?
Yeah, I want to see what they have to say.
And more time is more money.
Of course, yeah. But anything else, you guys? I mean, like, I know for spending, I mean, I'll tell you guys a little trick. I usually don't tell you guys after, but most of the time, the benefit is always going to be completely opposite and parallel to your issue. Too much time spent, now you have more time. Scheduled employees not show up for work, now your employees show up for work. Everyone's on time because you have everyone's availability. You're able to find them. You're able to properly utilize the resources now. So it's always going to be a correlation between those two. But I like to see you guys fill it all out when you start seeing like, hey, the issue and result are always matching. So you guys are always going to have the answers, right?
And you're not going to have a laundry list like you do under the Solex. It's going to be one or two.
Exactly.
Yeah, to the point.
To the point, yeah. And we want to talk stuff that's simple, customers understand. And I think when Frank listed out all these pain points, it was like too much time spent scheduling guards. That is something that a user sitting by his desk, this is taking me too much time. It's easy, general. They're going to feel it. Like that's something that they're feeling every day. This takes me too much time. Hey, this is taking too much time. Do you want to do more stuff or get out of work early? Yeah, I do. How do I do that? Well, call DAC. We're going to talk about how we can help you save more time. So let's start off. Now that you guys kind of went through a whole line together, let's do the second one now. Scheduled employees do not show up on duty for every shift. What does that result in? Risk of losing contracts. Any other things you think that results into?
Well, company loses money as the customers won't pay for missed shifts.
So,
May not lose a customer, but he's not gonna pay for
lots
time
of
that guard wasn't.
yeah, lots of revenue. We need one or two more.
Last second
Damage.
scramble.
Hmm?
Trying to get someone last second, trying to call whoever it is. So you're wasting, dropping everything you're doing to make sure you're gonna get someone that spot right away. So who's available, who's not. You might have to pay overtime for someone that might be available.
So another loss of revenue, and how do you guys want to word that for time? To describe that to a customer.
Increased cost through for time or
Time wasted. Finding a replacement.
Time wasted.
Distract you from your other duties.
Or even just like the brand of the company.
I was
People leave
Yeah.
people show up all the
I was
time.
waiting for that one.
Credibility.
It's loss of reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that a lot when you Google the companies that fill out leads. They'll be in the Google review. This company didn't show up, blah blah blah. So it ruins the
Yeah.
brand.
And for the guys that we're going to targeting, like I know Frank and Gurmeet, Gurpreet, they all want you to we want you to be targeting bigger accounts with this process. So stuff like loss of reputation for a larger account, they care. Even a smaller business, if you're a 25-person company trying to grow your business, your reputation's everything.
Growing business.
You're not going to get to 50 employees unless you have a good reputation.
Line item on every balance sheet is goodwill.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Goodwill. There is a financial value to goodwill.
Yeah.
Even the small companies, they're always like personal name the company after themselves. Nobody wants to see their own name being
Yeah.
dragged to the dirt.
Yeah, slag.
So
So
other sort of results of that could be important. One would be other employees must pick up the slack, so you're going to have burnout and high turnover, which is a big cost. And if it's a shift where there should be a couple of guards on duty and there's only one guard, then that becomes a safety issue, putting that employee at risk and the company at risk.
So what was that last one you said? That was actually a good one. Is
Safety.
safety? Yeah, always down. Always important.
For the person and the client too, if they're
Yeah.
protecting the
Yeah,
party or
because
something.
Yeah, that's right. If you're not providing a service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something happens here, the company's liable.
They actually can be probably sued to that for that. Right?
I'm sure it happens all the time.
Okay.
Someone asleep at the ship at the handle. Not there.
Yeah, can you guys still see it okay? I just lower just made it smaller just so it can fit more stuff. Okay, so now let's talk about Salex now. What can Salex do to fix this problem? And remember guys, I want you guys to describe it to me, not by the name of what the items are, but speak to me. If you speak to me, I have no idea about your tool. How can you guys, I have a problem, Jimmy, I have a problem where my scheduled employees don't show up to work for every shift.
Better communication on shift updates, schedule updates.
Better communication through what?
Through
So why do you guys give me better communication? How does Lex give me better communication?
by automating schedule changes.
Schedule change notifications.
Yeah.
Now that's a good gap filler. That makes sense, right? We can give you better communication on shift updates by automating your schedule changes or your notifications.
Yeah.
People understand that. Okay, that makes sense. I can see how that helps me. How else?
You know, through a map view, you instantly see all the locations that you have, and anyone that has an error or an issue, like someone didn't show up, you'll get flagged, and you can see all your sites in one spot.
So real-time updates on guard attendants.
So okay.
Map view.
Visual map dash.
Visual map.
Visual map
With all your client locations and errors shown.
shows all client locations and
Errors. And
Errors.
Issues.
And no shows.
Issues, I think it's more issues.
Issues wouldn't be errors, it'd be issues.
One example of that, you shoot them the Time Express Auto Tour, and it's bam, right in your face.
no shows. And then do you have one more? I think.
Yeah, real-time updates on guard attendants.
Automatic alerts when a guard doesn't show up.
Well, I guess both those would fit under the
Yeah, it's
notifications, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything outside of these two, you guys think?
Actually, the shift change is by notifications. That's not that
Yeah.
first one is if a shift changes and the guard doesn't know about it, he doesn't show up. But there's another one where the guard knows about the shift.
And doesn't show
And
up,
doesn't show up.
and the supervisor's notified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's a
so
different
it's-
notification.
Yeah, so yeah, real-time.
Yep.
Yeah, so that worked, yeah.
So do you think that's okay, or should I put real-time updates?
Yeah, real-time
Yeah.
updates, yeah.
They're two different things
Yeah.
in our
So
system.
real-time updates
For supervisor.
for supervisors regarding employee
No shows.
No shows.
Yeah, I guess a simpler way of describing that is just saying automatic alerts sent to supervisor when a guard doesn't show up. But
Yeah.
I know we'll go in, it's part of the
Push
process and
notifications.
something.
Pushing, yeah.
Push notifications.
You don't have to go search for the information, it comes to you when something goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like right here, we want to list them out so that we all like together we all have this concise map for security, and then we're going to take this document which are actually building on messaging, and each one of you guys are going to have your own variation. So you might say, hey, you know what, we have push notifications that give you this. You might want to say it the way that you want to say it. As long as we all know what the key points are, you can word it a little differently, and it will change. Like you still got to make it like we're not doing we're doing personalized campaigns. We're making each message sound like this is directly coming from you guys. So it has to sound like you. Can't sound like it was an automated to a T textbook kind of answer, right? So what is the benefit? So now they have better communication.
Employees show up.
Employees show up.
Employee accountability.
Show up on time.
And if something happens, then we find out immediately.
Correct.
Rather than
Proactive scheduling environment.
Clients are happier. Increased client satisfaction.
Strong brand.
There you go. So you guys beat me to it. I was gonna say after those first 2-3, but you guys already are on that track. Now they're starting to lead to what do these benefits lead to in the long run, which is better brand, stuff like that, right? Like how does that correlate now their employees are coming? So what is it? Bigger brand. What did you see, Jimmy? You see something that was really good too.
Client satisfaction. Increase.
Yeah. Client satisfaction. Brand.
safer employees,
Safer employees.
safer customers.
And I hope you guys can start seeing some of the things here. Like, if you take away this layup slide here, and you were to tell a customer now, Mr. Customer, if I show you a way, if we can make your employees safer, your employees and customers safer, just by making sure that your employees show up on time, right away they're gonna be like, how can we make my employees safer? How can I make my customers safer? How? I'm confused. How is that possible? Let me talk to you. Like, you want to create stuff to make them come into you, right? And that's what you guys are doing right now with all this. Okay, so we got two more guys. Next one is overtime and admin labor costs are too high and underreported. What does that result in? Profitability is impacted negatively. How would Slags fix that?
With a visual scheduler, it would show you right there and then once you overbook someone.
Visually see shifts that incur overtime.
Yeah.
Visual view of overtime shifts.
An built-in safeguard to ensure an employee isn't put into an overtime position.
Budget employees weekly.
Yeah, so they've got budgeting as well as
So it's a built-in safeguard
overtime rules.
to assure
Employees are not put into an overtime position.
Yeah, preemptively filter out employees that will create overtime.
overtime position.
And then similar to that, but separate is budgets, customer budgets. So we can say that customer budgets can be set so that.
So explain it to me, like I don't know the tool.
So let's say you have a contract with a customer to provide so many hours of guard service.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, if you're not scheduling properly and you put too many guards in there, or guards are taking longer shifts or checking in early and checking out late, then you're going to exceed that budget. So there are built-in safeguards to ensure that customer budgets are not exceeded.
What are the safeguards?
Safeguards are reporting within the system.
There we go. Now, yeah. So
And,
reporting.
Automatic alert.
There's also visual indications when a budget has been exceeded.
Reporting. Automatic alerts. You said notifications? Or
Visual alerts.
Visual.
Yeah, you can see on your schedule that changes.
Visual view.
Visual alerts.
Color coding?
On the tabs, there's color coding that you can get. They go into overtime or into exceeding the budget, similar to when they go into an overtime position. And then there's also a tab where you can see for a shift, the customer and the budget, the daily, the weekly, the monthly budget for the customer, and so you can compare where you are stand now based on the shifts that are scheduled by the customer.
The key is that it's preemptive, it's planning. It's before the horse is left the barn.
Yeah.
It's not after the fact. So you know all this when you're building the schedule.
Okay. Did you guys want to put it down like that? I don't know if you're worth that way too, or
no, that's a good one too. Put it down. Preventive.
preventive?
Budgeting tools.
Budgeting. Oh. Tools. How do you guys feel? Good with those top three? You got 3 or 4 there? Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, so benefit. Tell me the benefits now. Now that they have all this from SLAX, how does it benefit them now?
Increase year-end bonus.
Increase what?
Year-end bonus.
That's for the
No, seriously.
C-level targeting.
Yeah, cost control and cost efficiency.
Cost
No, an
control.
ops person wouldn't give a shit about cost control for the company. So you have to be more personalized and say,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a bigger bonus.
Frank's always the deciding factor. You can ask him if we should include that.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
The bigger companies, yeah, I mean, a lot of times they're not necessarily so concerned about saving the company money as what it means to them personally. Because a lot of them are on the bonus based upon profitability.
You can just say increased profitability.
Yeah, increased profitability is probably enough of a catch-all.
Yeah, let's just do that.
You can interpret whether it's corporate profitability or personal profitability.
Increase profitability. What other benefits do you derive from that?
Maximize employee utilization or something, like fully utilize.
Crew utilization?
Yeah, all your employees properly.
Happy to customers if they're not paying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Being
customers
more
are more conscious of
competitive.
the budget as well too, and if the customers are happy, then,
Happier customers because lower costs, right?
happy customers, lower cost and greater goodwill.
But does overtime really affect the customers?
Yeah.
The price stays the same.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because you can be,
With
if
big
your
bill.
if your cost is low, you can be more competitive in the market. So, it's your competitive advantage now, like cost competitive.
You guys are on a roll. You guys picked it up a lot quicker than most people we trained. We trained one class last week and it took them a long time to get through this.
I think lower turnover might be there as well.
Pardon me?
You might be able to lower turnover as well. It might go under crew utilization because if you are managing overtime, you might be allocating shifts a little bit more properly as well. So it results in lower turnover because people have shifts.
Yeah, there you go. Equitable distribution of shifts.
Yeah.
Or no, it's actually the same as maximize crew utilization in a way. But yeah,
To a certain extent,
it's a better wording.
Crew utilization from the company standpoint. I'm an employee, I don't give a shit if the company's optimal or not. I care about if I get shifts or not.
Yeah, so equitable distribution of shifts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a better wording for that.
Equitable. Like that style? Like that? Yeah. Distribution of
So
shifts.
equity, EQUITAPL.
EQI? Oh, like that. Okay.
Yeah, equitable, yeah.
Feel good?
Yeah.
There you go.
Equity. New channel. EQI period.
All right. Last line.
Staff are usually not tax.
Staff are not usually tech savvy.
Oh,
As a result,
we are gonna get.
if systems are not easy to learn and use, the adoption rate will be low.
So we have
Our
old school
employee-
and new school systems
Yeah.
options for them to use.
Yeah, we can,
Yeah, but our employee and supervisor apps are very intuitive and user friendly.
limited clicks.
So let's talk.
However, the
uh,
scheduler is a different animal altogether.
So say that again, Victor. What you were saying?
Our employee and supervisor apps. Do I say apps or portal?
Applications.
Yeah.
But they can just segregate it, right? Your schedule's gonna be a lot more tech savvy than the person that's an immigrant.
Yeah.
Walking the construction site, so you have to segregate it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Are intuitive and user friendly.
yeah, in general, yeah, but you would say that for the employee that you're worried about that gets paid $10 an hour, that's not tech savvy, a monkey can use that app. Sure, the Time Express or supervisor portal is gonna be a bit more complicated, but if that person knows how to use a computer, if they know how to use Excel, they can easily figure this out.
Yeah.
This is much easier than Excel.
Perfect.
The other thing we can do for the people who are really low are just biometric time and attendance
There
policy.
you go.
RFIDs, voice response for the
Fingerprint
telephone, like they're
thing.
calling the bank.
Yeah. So describe that to me, like.
So instead of like checking in with a phone or a mobile application, they're going to a site and they're literally just sliding a card in to check in and sliding a card out or using their phone.
So that's what they're doing currently, right? Or
Well,
no?
they can do that.
That's a way. That's a method in terms of how they can check in.
So we have multiple,
That's
Wait,
like
multiple
capture
technologies,
time.
multiple technologies to
Yeah.
check in. It's not just an app. We have solutions.
Yeah.
So that's what we make workflows for scheduling and time attendance, not just an app.
Perfect. And guys, like, yeah, like I think you guys are on the track. Like the way you guys are starting to describe it now, like we have multiple methods or technologies to check in. Like you want to explain it to them in ways that simple, because you guys be surprised customers don't know.
It's a
anything.
platform, man. It's
Yeah.
a platform, not an app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a better wording for that would be multiple methods of technologies to capture
Time and attendance.
I will say it's a platform, not an app, or a solution, not an app. Because an app is just you're doing one thing, but we do
Okay.
lots of things.
Yeah.
Our employee and supervisor platforms are user friendly.
Yeah, and that's true. You guys are a platform, not an app. Yeah. And I mean, for the tech one here, this last line, don't stress you guys out so much on this one, because this one is just about tech. It's a little bit more. It's talking about not as much meat as say some of the other benefit or results from like.
I think that's just meaning like ease of use.
This is easy to use. Yeah. So this one, I don't think you guys are gonna have too many like how much can you speak on user friendliness to customer, but there's good things to include in our messaging, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be most relevant with the employee interface, just because like, a lot of the guards are, say, immigrants or low, not educated. So having a really user-friendly interface, especially in Team Express, extremely important.
And we shoot the product tour.
Yeah,
If you don't believe it, check out
Yeah.
the product tour.
Yeah. And that's a good that's a good point you brought up, Guy. Like that's the kind of stuff like you should say in your message, because remember, it's coming personally from you. It's not technically coming from the company. You can say, hey man, like a lot of people I'm speaking to, there's a lot of different languages of people that are working with the companies that we work with. One of their biggest challenges is, just like you said, we have the tools that are easy, user-friendly to use that no matter what language you speak are understandable. And people are going to understand that message. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's the problem I have. Tell me more.
And we have industry-leading training too. We don't just give you the software to work on your own. We train you on it.
Yeah, our services are every bit as important as the
Yeah.
product itself.
If you're partnering with us, we're not just giving you a product. It's a true service.
So the last one is, let's do the benefit now. What are the benefits of this?
Quick implementation.
It's a use.
Quick implementation.
We're quick on implementation.
That's usually on the customer side, not us.
But you know what's,
Ready to go.
you know what's funny? Every person that we work with, I think quick implementation is always a selling feature, but every company I've never seen a quick implementation. Not just because the company side, but usually because the customer side is getting their people lined up for us. But we'll put down quick implementation. What else? What else do you guys think are benefits
Ease
of
of
it?
use.
Ease of use.
Quality control.
Ease of use. Quality control.
because you have so many people coming and going, employees, it's easy to pick up. So it's not like you have to sit them down for seminars. Download the app. Let me know
Minimum
if you
training.
need- Yeah,
Minimal training, yeah.
Quick adoption.
Increased satisfaction, resulting in lower turnover.
Yeah.
Lower employee turnover.
Time to value.
Better employee experience.
You've sold them on all these benefits and saving money. It's all about time to value.
Any more? I know that there's about 7 of them there, so I think it's good, but unless there's anything in particular you guys think there's a strong one we should put in there. But like I said, for this one, it's ease of use. It's summed up. I don't think,
It's a time saver as well, because if you're not using technology that you don't know how to use, a lot of times you have to call customer service.
Yeah.
Customer success, because
So a couple things. One, you guys did an amazing job on this, for real. And 2, like everything that you guys have put here is exactly what I was looking for. Like when we start creating our messaging, which you guys are going to start building out next class, and you're going to start sending out to customers, and we're going to do all of them together. This is literally like our first thesis of what we're going to be using for value on pain points. Like this is exactly what we're going to do. So now that you did this one really effectively, we still have some other things that we're going to talk about messaging with you today and some other things and walk through the process. But regarding the value mapping, what you guys got to do for homework is, we did this one together so you guys know how it works, and you guys saw what I did with the Word document. You guys have to do the exact same thing with hospitality. List 2 to 3 points per benefit, 2 to 3 points per Soleix for how Soleix fits it in, and do the same thing on a document showing how do you guys each think the business should be broken up into, and what are the roles with how you guys think the employee size should be broken up by segment. That's it. And this isn't time consuming. Sit there, this size company, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roles next, and have it all listed. Because in the beginning of next class, now that you guys know what to do, we're going to do this in 15, 20 minutes because everyone's going to have their stuff ready, and we're going to list them all out and see who said, like, what I want you guys to do is come in next class and you guys don't share with each other, is because if I see that 4 or 5 of you all said the same thing, that's going to be like, okay, that's probably one of our top ones. If all of you guys thought like that's the same benefit that it's driving, boom, that's going up there. So we did it together now, so you didn't know how to do it. Now we're going to go way after, and you guys are going to do it that way. Cool? And we're going to send up a summary today with all that. So now that's good. You guys have any questions on what we did here? You guys see the method of where we're leading with this? Yeah?
Yeah, and especially with this, right now we listed a bunch of stuff, but for the emails, you can't list all these things in email because it's just going to be too much to read. So we try to find the top one to put in, because for the kind of rule of thumb is people read their emails on the phone now, it's a 2-swipe rule. Anything over 2 swipes is just going to stop reading it. So instead of listing all these things, we try to find the strongest ones, and it's sort of ever changing. So if something works for you guys and it doesn't work for him, then we're going to try to adopt that. So we're just going to see what works and what doesn't. But in the email, we're going to be trying to be as concise as possible because people will just stop reading it.
Yeah. And just like Theo said too, yeah, it's going to be like telling guys, like in the next, good thing about having such a big group of you guys, like having 4 or 5 of you guys attacking this, is we can really test things out really well and quickly. If one person's not getting any traction, if there's only one guy by themselves, we don't know, like, should we just keep doing this more, or is we saying the wrong thing? But with such a variance for you guys, we'll be able to pinpoint, like, this guy consistently, this message is working, let's adopt that, like Theo said. So I'll sum this all up for you guys and send it to you with the homework. And now what we're going to do is we're going to walk through Basho, right? So we're going to walk through some Basho. Pull this up. And
What's Basho?
I'm just going to walk you through it.
It's pretty much a technique that.
Yep. Probably need keys to get in and out.
Get back in this one gets you know where the washroom is?
Yeah, I know.
And the red keys for the door to come back.
So with what we were doing before, it was kind of like a top or a bottom up approach. So you message the people that feel the pain points, like the end users, and we try to go as high as the director, and then because the director feels the pain point, they can make decisions. But with this is a top down, so we're going for the C levels, the VPs, and then we're hoping for a referral down, because what happens when Frank tells you guys to do something, you're like, you know what, I'm probably going to do it because he's my boss. But that's kind of the framework behind it.
Generally works that way.
So, kind of what is it? Like you asked when to use it. Badger technique is an email technique designed by these two guys. It's been used for a little bit, but it's highly successful for C-level people. It's a targeted email that you use to show your prospect that you've spent time researching the company. It seems like you've been researching the company for days, but realistically, you spend like 5 to 10 minutes doing quick research, and it feels like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. You try to quote something that's happened in the company, and then you use it in the email. When you use it, so you'll use it for your top 10 accounts. You don't use it for every account. You just focus on the accounts that you think is the most important. And yeah, you use it for C-level and VP level prospects. The goal is to spend the least amount of time possible because, I mean, prospecting is just a long, tedious thing. So you try to spend as least amount possible, but it gives you the illusion that you fully researched the company and that you're very knowledgeable in the company, and they try to refer you down because when you spend a lot of time in the company, they usually will show interest and respond back. So what it pretty much is you write an email saying why you and why you now. Why you, specific reference to them. So quote a strategic event that happened or some sort of interest that you guys have shared. A lot of times what I do is I'll put like on the subject line like congratulations on something that's happened to the company or something they've done. Usually for the bigger companies that you guys are starting to target, we'll usually win an award, or the company will have a good quarterly report, or the CEO would have done something in the news. What I try to do is for the top 10 accounts, I try to set up Google News alerts. So if something happens and you have something to reference, like, hey, this is what's happening. Why you now? Your high-level business values as it relates to why you. So the pivot or bridge from a word or concept to why you now. So you won an award. Why you now? This is probably the time to grow. You guys are growing. This is the time to buy our software so you guys can go further, protect your brand. And always a call to action. A lot of people write emails, it's like all these great things, but then it's like you don't ask them to do anything, so just next email. So always open-ended. You want to name an answer, ask you direct, hey, if you're not responsible for this, can you direct me to the right person that's responsible for this? Or let's set up a time this week. So always ask them for something back. Why use sources? So where do we find this? It needs to be quick. So their website. Our mission statement is probably something really good to refer to. A press release from C-level quotes, so like going on Google and stuff. News, about us, mission statements. Go on their company LinkedIn page. Usually have a quick little blurb about what's important to them, their values, what they're looking to do, how they're looking to grow. Executive blogs, tweets, LinkedIn updates. News releases, I think, is a really good one because it's what's top of mind now, what's top of mind for investors, financial report statements, and then, yeah, strategic events that impact shareholders as valuable C-level quotes.
One of the cool things is, like, I believe, Frank, are you set up on LinkedIn yet, or they are now? So you guys, they're all getting set up with Sales Navigator. So
Oh, the Sales Navigator, I'm not sure if they're active yet.
you guys will be. It's getting all set up for you guys. But the cool thing is what they're showing is with the news and all the statements, you can actually follow all the companies and all the employees for whatever your top targets are, which we're going to go over the next couple of weeks. But you'll actually show in your Sales Navigator newsfeed, they'll tell you all the news that's happened on the company, any updates on them. So if you see important information like high turnover, losing employees, boom, let me take that news release, let me take that quote from the CEO, let me put it into an email like Theo just said. Now you have a real piece of information the company talked about in the news that you're going to reference. That's strong. Shows that you're actually doing your work. The person reading it's going to be like, wow, this guy actually read an article on me, found a piece that applied to my business, and found how it correlated to Slax. That's a really weaponized salesperson. You know what I mean?
Generally speaking, do you guys expect the security to have too many of these types of updates? I can't imagine the smaller security companies, even up to 500,000, had to do much of these.
Yeah, and if they don't have updates, then go after the about us, the mission statements, or the owner itself, or like anything that, like, hey, you guys are growing. It doesn't even necessarily have to be on the website, but it's just like a reason to reach out to them now.
Maybe like an industry thing, because
An industry
I can't imagine like
Yeah.
even like Genesis Security is a huge company with a couple thousand. I don't imagine them putting out press releases, but I can see like you go to news, just go to Google News,
an industry
security
thing.
guards.
Yeah.
And you'll get a bunch of different articles based on security guard industry.
And he's absolutely right. Like depending on the vertical, like hospitality, you're gonna have tons of things on LinkedIn. Security guard might have less. It's going to be very vertical specific, but That's why you want to always show you guys multiple areas that you guys can find the data that you guys need to do it. So here's the template. After we run through this, we're gonna probably just break you guys into 2 groups, and then you guys are gonna kind of create your own with the security topic in mind. What happens is just put the first name, comma. I was researching a company and read that you said, so you insert your quote or news event or anything that you find would work. I was inspired to contact you for some direction. We show our clients how to, and this is where you state your business, the SALAIC's business value of how you solve the first problem. Who's the best person to speak with on your team? Leadership about the solutions. Because usually when we're targeting CEO and VPs, they're not the person that's responsible for this, but you find a high level value of that, why they would reply, and then you get them to refer you down to who the right person is. Best regards, first, last name. So this is super simple. Like I said, it's a 2-swipe thing. It shows you've researched the company. It's very concise, and you make them reply. And you know why we always want to target high up, and yet why Theo says you ask for the best person below. You guys know reason why, right?
Boss tells you to do it.
Pardon me?
Boss tells you to do it.
Bang on. So if you get 2 reasons, one, if you tell somebody who's the best person to speak to, he gets passed the buck. And everyone loves to, this guy. Because he can answer it easily. This is the guy. That's part 1. Part 2 is, if Frank tells Victor, look into this. Okay, well, I better look into this. Like Frank just told me to look into this. So it's a double story. You're going to yield a better result because the boss is telling you to do it.
And also, you can, if they just refer you, hey, message this person, you can go in the subject line, referred by Frank, and then they're going to open the email because it's like, I wonder what's going on.
Just do that right in the subject line. RE referred by Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would make you pay attention to it.
At least open it, right, and then see what's going on.
So yeah, that's that. And then
So yeah, this is our exercise. Create a YU now for a target. Okay. Find a relevant and timely YU. Pivot from a logical word and phrase and then create a reason why, and then ask for referral. Use the template we have above. I'll just pull the template up again. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. I guess we'll do 2 and 2. Find a security company. Find a reason why, and yeah, just draft this one up, and then we'll go and present them and go over.
So, you two. So can I get a team?
Alright.
Reviews.
And
Yeah, let's do it.
we'll be 15 minutes. Cool. And when you guys search online, like we know that we're doing over fake companies, it's for the exercise, but I want you to look online. Work as a team, find a security company, find some information on it, boom. If you can find that works really well, man, like, that'd be great. Maybe you got your first prospect, but
Paladin Security.
I just received news from both. It was actually from Group 3. He sent me an email this morning. It's not in security or hospitality, it's in home healthcare.
yeah.
But they got $50 million in capital. It's like wanting to reach out to them. They're already at 500. They're growing.
Yeah.
Not security, but
That's a big one, isn't it?
what do you think about that?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
What do you think? Healthcare is not obviously not security, but it is obviously one of the bigger. Look at this article.
Yeah.
$50 million in capital, lofty ambitions.
And we'll do the template up there for you guys too, so you guys can see how the template works. And you guys all got this as well too. We'll send this with
Yeah,
you
Jim
guys.
Glenn, I've been
This is one?
That's a drug salesman.
And then after we'll walk through
I just put in Imperial Security
the process
I
and
got
the next steps. You're gonna
Bob
do,
Shoker
so they know like what's.
and Ruby knows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that must be the one. Well, maybe that's the Paladin Security. Yeah.
This is the Vancouver location.
Oh, that's still not good. Oh,
That can't be the same one.
okay. That might be.
Let's go to a corporate website, uses link to LinkedIn.
Yeah, the Paladin Security.
Which one?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep, got it. Oh, they're bigger than Genesis.
What did you say?
This one? Yeah, this is before
Yeah.
with myself.
You got started in business in 2005.
Let's see. No Target CEO or someone lower.
That's the
CEO is a
weekend.
good
What's that?
Plans for the weekend?
A magnet for a spam.
Doing
Like a
a
CEO
neighborhood
would be better,
barbecue
just
where
in
they,
case there's
inviting a bunch of the neighbors over.
Oh, that's awesome. Where was you and your
Somebody.
Yeah.
Oh,
CEO,
nice.
they get all the spam, right? Everyone.
You and your brother just throw the parties, huh?
What's that?
You and your brother just throw the parties.
It's a DNA thing.
Yeah.
I just don't like to drink alone. Unless I happen to be by myself.
You're an alcoholic, we start drinking alone. I make it a point not to drink alone.
So sad, it's like, yeah, we're the same.
There's no CS.
I'll just shoot you company on the
Oh,
side.
Do you want to write? Do you want to write?
Actually,
Actually,
I'll go for CEO, right? Yeah, I'll say,
Boom, here.
So email messages,
Thor,
you put in dear
Derek
and Mr. anymore?
No,
So
just
name?
put first name.
First name.
First name?
First name.
But VP.
Yeah. It's nowadays, like, we
VP.
did a study like, a couple of years ago. It's more genuine. And
Connected
it's actually
with
more,
my deal.
it's more genuine to actually just put the first name because it's supposed to be disrespectful if you put dear or hi or this, because it's like, you don't know me. Like, you're literally coming to me saying something like, you want me to say hi, like, sure, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vancouver too.
And I brought this up
Yeah.
enough times. How do you not start an email?
Dear.
Everybody answer?
Dear.
No.
Hope all is well.
Hope you are doing well. Go straight in the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah, never. Because if you just say, hope you're doing well, like, everyone knows that is a fluff filling. Like,
That's right.
then you're going to say what you really want.
Yeah.
Remove hope you're doing well, put what you really want.
Because you also know that they don't give a damn whether you're doing well or not. They want money out of you.
Yeah.
I hope you're profitable so you can spend more money on
Yeah.
software.
At least be honest.
Hope you've been profitable.
And I think that's why when you put something like this, when you focus on something about them, like this is what I found about what you said.
Right.
Boom. Okay, that resonates.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name?
Mark
JG.
Forward.
Oh, his name was Jim Blake.
Jim.
Alright. Interior health, arts, hospitality, industrial, security.
Their roles weird though.
Congratulations on your contract.
Is it? It's actually perfect.
He makes comments on posts and stuff too.
I'll call him back when it's supposed to. Hey, great comment, sir. Can we connect?
You can pause recording as well and then pick it up again.
Like he even
If I hit
put in
stop
some
and then can you
challenges.
restart?
Yes.
This is, I think this is.
We decided on Paladin Security, one of the bigger ones. And we didn't go for the CEO because they probably get so much spam, like a magnet for spam. So we saw one level below is the vice president,
VP.
VP.
And they had a few VPs, but
Yeah.
this one was in Vancouver.
It's local based. So what we did, went to Google News, we searched Mark Forward, guy's name, and quote came up. He was involved in the merger. So the two companies found out they have a merger. He just referenced that.
Yeah.
And he was already a VP of Concord and is now VP of Paladin. So
Beautiful.
meaning that
Frank.
transition.
No, I thought it was well done as well. I mean, the comment I was going to make, but you nailed it, is if you're going to name drop an existing current client, make sure they know who it is.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was a local company to a local company would resonate. But if you're talking to somebody in New York and you're name dropping a company in Vancouver, we're going to go, who?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, be careful with that. But yeah, no, that was well done as well.
And the issue was that, or that's a unique issue that after merger, you have to streamline two different operations. Paladin's using one thing, Concord's using another one, so we can help simplify that process.
Yep.
It'll be a unique challenge for them.
Like, I gotta give you guys commend you. Like literally, you guys, it was 15 minutes. You guys searched something online to find a company and type something out, and you guys made an email completely focused on challenge or event of the customer. You related it to Slayx, and you asked for a referral.
Right.
15 minutes you guys took it. Like you guys did, this is your first time doing it, right? So usually you should take 5 to 10 minutes, a little bit of research. You got a really good email. It's gonna be better than honestly 90% of their sales guys say, "Hey, hi. So we do this. What does that have to do with my business? You guys are the way around. I'm noticing your business. I'm researching your business. This is how it correlates. That's powerful, right?
And that's a good subject line as well, because especially if you found a quote that he stated and you put congratulations, like he might not think it's even a sales email. It's like maybe they're asking for another media spot, so they're more likely to open it. So that's
Yep.
a good subject line.
Yeah. So I think we need to have a dance off here. So because they were both equally well done. So
Rochambeau.
we need to do a dance off.
You mean we both win $10,000?
Yeah. The other comment I'd make, and like I said, this is a real life example. I mean, it's great to be able to find positive news to reach out and congratulate them on,
Yeah.
or reference. But do not lose sight of the fact that negative news against the company can be just as impactful. Here's a real life example. I won't name the company to protect their guilt, but let's just say it was a local large insurance carrier that used to run a series of auto care centers. That's all you need to know. And a couple of years back, there was a class action lawsuit brought by a bunch of employees that worked at the hair care centers for not paying overtime to the employees. It ended up costing them all of the back pay for overtime, which was a couple $1 million plus a $1.5 million fine for non-compliance.
And interest.
And the main reason that was cited for this was that they did not have sufficient control systems in place to manage and control and track overtime for the employees.
Wow.
So an email, very much like what you guys are talking about here, was sent out by yours truly
Nice.
to the CEO, asking who should I be talking to in your organization so you don't get slapped with another multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and here's what I can do for you. And he referred me down to a senior legal counsel.
That's money.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that is the
Close it?
star example right there.
Yeah, closing it?
But like, yeah, like all the best reps in the industry, and like I said, like Nithya worked at all the large corporations you think of, big software sales, and even Frank knows that he's been through the same paces. Like that kind of message will yield you some really good results. It just shows that you guys are actually learning about the business, and it makes it look as if you guys did a ton of research. But you guys thought it was 10-15 minutes, but the customer, like, wow, this guy really knows my business. Door open, right? So good job, guys. Really, the whole data, you guys killed it. I know we're like coming to the end of the next 5 minutes, and it was a really good class. I know I told you guys are gonna roll up the sleeves and work hard today. I mean, there's a lot more you guys talking than last class. Next class, so what I want to do is just, I'm going to send you guys a summary of what homework to be done and what you guys covered for today. And I'll send you guys all the documentation of everything we did. Yeah, I think you guys know about the homework. We have the Slack channel open, so ask questions if you guys need help with anything. But just like the things you guys are doing now, don't lose sight. Like, we're building outbound prospecting process for you guys together. We're doing it together, right? And just to remind you guys of where we're at, we got to figure out, fix our profiles so we know who we are, customer-centric profiles, right? Next, we're going through the buyer profiles today. We want to learn who are we targeting and why are we targeting them? What do they care about? Now that we know about that, and now we're learning what to say and how to say stuff to them, the next process will be, how do we find them now? This is when we'll start using the tools next class and starting to actually source them. And once you start building those out, the next point will be, how do we actually get the messaging to them? We'll use technology again. At the end of it, this will all correlate and transfer into deals, right? But just so you guys stay ahead, this is the kind of the steps we're taking, okay? So you guys have been really, really good, and it's gonna be exciting, guys. Any questions for us today for the class? No? Happy you joined?
Happy to be here.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, Frank, any
Good.
closing thoughts?
No, good job. Like I said, I personally got a lot out of it. I mean, which is good. Hopefully you guys did as well.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, I'll send you guys up homework, and yeah, those lists that you guys are making, I'll send you guys the one that we worked on. You guys can clean it up as you want, but those are kind of be the templates that we use for pain points and everything for to start doing the messaging. Starting next week, we're all going to start building our lists of about 150 people per week is what their expectation is going to be, and the tools that we're going to give you is going to be able to enable you guys to do that within an hour or two a week. So very low time, you're going to build a list you need, and we're going to start making things happen quite quickly here. So, we good? Yeah.
Technical, I'm sorry, go ahead, Rick.
No.
Yeah, go for it.
Technical question. So when you're inputting the data into Salesforce, me and wrap our heads around this, trying to figure out, all right, so say if one of the guys picks up a lead, right? Well, they picked up a lead, but it's not a qualified yet. It's not SQL yet. They just identify this person going to target. We want to avoid putting that data straight into Salesforce because that's not an SQL yet. That's just a contact.
Oh, we don't. Yeah, for you're talking about like our outbound prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing gets put into Salesforce unless it's a criteria that this is entering a sales cycle.
Yeah.
It's the only time it goes in a CRM.
They reach back out to you guys.
Yeah.
After we send the email, they yes, I'm interested. Let's talk.
Okay, so then that's SQL, you know it. And do you have a process of like doing mass updates into the Salesforce, doing mass data, or is it one-by-one records?
Yeah, it's one by one. Yeah, because the deals that we're doing, like, we want you to have, Matt, we want all you guys with 150, like, we want you to yield 5 or 10% return on that 150. You're going to lead to 15 conversations. Out of those 15 conversations, we hope that 1 to 2 of those turn into a cycle. One of those 2 is closed, right? And that's the bare minimum. Like, that is the most conservative number in most cases, because you guys have your messaging on point. You guys have been around for how long with references. Usually those numbers are 3-4 times the percentage up. But I always use the most conservative to be safe for us.
Yeah, you're not going to have a mass import. I mean, you're going to have, even if it's 1 a day. I mean, you're not going to have that kind of volume,
Yeah.
right?
I'm going to be worried about like how we update all this information.
It's not going to be a mass. It's only, as he said, if they actually reach back out to you and you start a conversation.
Yeah.
Then that's at least an engaged SQL.
Yeah.
Right, as a lead.
Yeah.
And then you follow it from there, whether it gets promoted to an opportunity or not.
And with you too, like I was telling, I'm happy you sat here because I was telling Frank, like as things grow with these guys will be targeting a lot of different areas in their territories. I've seen your guys' territory maps. You guys should all be working together because he's doing marketing. It'd be great if he knows where you guys are targeting and who you guys are targeting, vice versa. Because
What's working, what's not working.
yeah, because you're doing the kind of the same thing, but in a bigger marketing way. You guys can start leaning on each other. So it says, hey, I've been doing big marketing campaigns in all these territories about these areas, about these items. Now you guys know what to personalize all your messaging for your own personalized ones, right? So there's some synergies between it, right?
Also, say when they are working on before it becomes an SQL,
Yeah.
how would someone like Frank or me oversee the data, like to see what the activity's been like? Because that's one thing that we do with Salesforce, right?
Yeah.
We take a look periodically what you've been doing with leads. So when it's not imported into Salesforce, before that, Google Drive or Dropbox. So how will Frank?
Google Drive, it'll just be, you'll build it out into an Excel spreadsheet list.
Yeah.
So you'll see how many leads each person did.
Yeah.
And who they reached out to. And then, so if you want to put in Google Drive or just like at the end of the week, send the Excel document.
Yeah.
To Frank, then it's your, whatever you guys prefer.
And with the email secrets for all the campaigns, like we had a team account for you guys.
Yeah.
So for a couple of reasons. One, you guys and management can all access and see all the replies and see what's been sent out.
Yeah.
So you guys can actually see like.
And that's all part of the training that we get to
Yeah.
kind of.
So you guys don't go through that stuff.
We go-
Kind of
yeah,
jump
okay,
out,
okay,
maybe a
gotcha.
team view where there'll be
Gotcha.
dashboards, so saying like, how many people Jimmy reached out to, who replied, how many people opened the emails.
Gotcha.
So there'll be analytics on all of that.
So the process is there, you'll train us on that.
Full
Yeah.
contacts,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And the cool thing is why I have a team account is it's not just for management to see what you guys are doing, but so that you guys together like
You can see each
you
other's
can see each
messages.
other's messages. You can see like, oh, Jimmy is like getting such great results. Let me go into Jimmy's file here and see what he's emailing.
Yeah.
Oh man, he changed this. I'm gonna take that. It's good. Collaborate, right?
Sharing
That's the whole
best
point.
practices.
Sharing best practices, right? Yeah. So, but we will go over that with them. Those are really good questions.
Perfect. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I
Thanks,
really
guys.
Appreciate it.
All right.